Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 19 of the Hungry People Podcast, the hungriest podcast on the East Coast. Well, MP, but didn't you just say that we're the hungriest podcast in America? Well, yeah, I mean, we were hungry. That's a big claim, though, to say that we're the hungriest podcast in America. You know, we're hungry. Let's go to the East Coast, or we can just go with America too, whatever you choose. Anyways, it is your boy Michael Patrick Buckley, and I'm here with my co-host AJ Dyka. What's up, AJ?
What's going on, MP?
What's up, brother?
Fucking hungry. Let's get into it.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Today, we are going to do a little recap on the 5 interviews that we've had so far on the Hungry People Podcast. Now, we've both done some interviews. Well, I've only done one. AJ has done plenty interviews on the YouTube channel. AJ, great job. Good stuff. But we have 5 specific ones that we have posted on our podcast channel. And we just kind of wanted to talk about some points maybe that we disagree with, that we agree with, and just some other stuff about each episode.
Maybe getting into some of the highlights, takeaways, some things we found interesting that maybe they brought to the podcast that no one else has yet. So
totally
happy to get into it. And it's been incredible. I mean, MP, we started off the podcast, him and I, just ourselves, and discussing all these things we find interesting. And now it's really fun to be diving into these guests together and getting the best of them, as well as I think it brings out the best in us as well.
Totally. I mean, I couldn't agree more with that, AJ. And I mean, hey, we're always striving for the next step. You know, we're always striving for the next step, and it's always great to learn from other people. That's what I'm all about. I love learning from other people. So, anyways, I wanted to not make an announcement, but do a little advertisement. So if you guys do or plan on going to the Woodstock Fruit Festival in 2022, you can use the code Hungry People. The H is capitalized. The P is capitalized. There's no spaces. Hungry People. You can use that to get $100 off your Woodstock Fruit Festival ticket. Every month that comes on, the tickets just keep getting more and more expensive. So it's definitely best to get that ticket ahead of time. It's a blast. I know AJ and I, we talked about it a bunch. Such a fun time. It's one of the best weeks of the year. It was one of the best weeks of my year last year. One of the best times I've had. So, yeah, definitely. If you guys, yeah, right. If you guys do plan on going, you can use our code to get $100 off. And,
we would love to see you there. We want to get more people than anyone to go to Woodstock. We want to meet you guys in person. It's a great place to meet, a great place to socialize, meet new people, eat healthy food, get fit, get lean, get strong, you know, have a new it's like a new outlook. And it also gives you something to look forward to at the end of the year. I love going every single year. And as the years go on, MP and I are going to be the new people that are bringing people in. So be the first to do so. I think we're going to have a couple people at least. Yeah,
totally. And also AJ, he's selling his supercells. So get in contact with him if you want to purchase any supercells.
Yeah, supercells is popping now. It's really taking off. Regulars are coming in. People are really appreciating the products, and I love them. I stand behind them 100%. And sure, yeah, just leave a comment down below or get a hold of me, email, Instagram. Let's do it.
Awesome.
Right, let's get into the podcast.
Well, yeah, let's get into this. So the first interviewee that we had, the first guy we had in the interview was Josh Buchanan, excuse me. And we had an extensive interview with Josh. We talked about so much. We talked about him traveling. We talked about fasting. We talked about people who like yo-yo a lot. We talked about like getting a coach, tons and tons of stuff. We talked about some confusion with around sugar, minimalism. Yeah, totally. A lot of great stuff from Josh. And he offers so much. And he's such a versatile person. And I really appreciate his perspective. And actually, I've been talking to Josh a lot recently. He does, actually, I'll leave that to him, but yeah, he does plan on doing some more traveling. And he's just such an informative guy. And I really, really loved our talk that we had with him. And we do actually plan on having him back on, just like we plan on having more people back on as well. But yeah, AJ, what was your favorite part about the episode with Josh?
Josh is like a well of information. So, you know, you could pick one subject and just go so deep, whether it be like sugar metabolism, oral health, traveling, minimalism, fitness, fasting. He really has a good amount of experience. I mean, the episode is called Be Your Own Self-Scientist.
Mm-hmm.
So he combines understanding and knowledge and studies with the experience that goes along with it. Josh, we're definitely going to be having him back on, and the amount of respect I have for him, because he is coming out on the other side of a lot of the negative aspects that comes with taking responsibility onto yourself.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are coming way more broken than they did when they came into it. And he isn't doing that. He's taking a reasonable, healthy approach that works him into a better space instead of working him into a tighter space.
Mm-hmm.
So the energy of Josh, that's what I really do appreciate about him. As far as the podcast, I think the just dynamic of that episode between us three, the fun, light interaction that we had with him, and how professional he was just hopping on and doing this with us. I mean, it was incredible.
Yeah, totally. One of the best parts that I liked about the episode was when Josh was going over, like, talking about flexibility and having a routine. And I know he made a statement that was something similar to, like, if you're not growing, if you're not changing or getting in more variety in your life, but you also do need a routine to be successful, but it's kind of like looking at someone who just does the same mundane activities every single day over and over again, like, even for myself, like, my days are every day is different. I don't, like, get up and I go to work. I work from home. So my days are all twist and turned, and some days I'm working way more, other days are more light. And I actually like that better. And I do believe that does help me grow and become a better person. But I definitely think that Josh's perspectives on, like, getting change in your life, getting variety in your life, doing something different, maybe changing up your workouts, changing up how much running you do, maybe changing up how much cycling you do, maybe just slowing down a bit, taking some time off, just like busting something up in your routine to help you just become a better person and learn more about yourself. That was definitely one of my favorite parts about the episode with Josh.
Well, what I also really liked specifically about the episode is Josh, made it very apparent how important sleep was to him. He said, out of everything, nothing's getting compromised for the sleep. I don't care if I have a book report due, or I haven't eaten yet, or I have eaten, or whatever. It's like, sleep's fundamental. And a lot of us know that, but we don't actually put it into practice as often as we should. And him solidifying that, even with his kind of quote unquote crazy lifestyle of travel and different changing sports and stuff, some things have to remain constant in order to get a result. And that's one of the things I feel as though is a pillar for him, and it really works for him.
Totally.
So I appreciate that reminder.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Well, yeah, Josh, we had a lot of fun with the episode. Can't wait to have you back on.
Next.
The next episode that we had with someone on was Jenna. That's our girl, Jenna Hathaway.
Hungry girl.
Yeah, I actually feel bad because Jenna, she does she is working on her own coaching business, and we never really got to go into that during that episode. And just like we mentioned on the episode, it took a complete different turn than how I expected it to go. It's usually that's how it goes, and that's totally cool. Yeah. It's totally fine. But we didn't get to talk about her coaching, and she is AJ, is she becoming a coach or working on becoming a coach? I'm not sure if she is, or if she has a program, or she's working on it. I know she's making a lot of informative posts on Instagram and talking about, like, disordered eating disorders, mentality shifts. She's been doing a lot of meditation. She's really a great follow if you're interested in that kind of stuff. AJ?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what type of coaching or certifications or what she has right now, or if she's working towards more of them or specific ones. But I know that she is taking on clients, or at least she was. And if you have any questions, or you found Jenna interesting, or maybe something she said resonated with you, Instagram, I'm sure you can reach her really easily and get more info with that. We can also post her Instagram down below. Yeah,
no doubt, for sure. I'll say with Jenna's episode, I loved talking about listening to your body. And I know in that episode we talked about how, like, when we're little kids, we just kind of did whatever, we just ate this. Oh, here's here's this, what a sweet tart. Oh, I want that. Okay, I ate it. Here's this banana. I ate the banana. Oh, here's a squash. Well, my parents probably baked it for me, but it's kind of like we just kind of did whatever. We weren't really guessing. We weren't really like, oh, should I eat this? Should I do that? We just kind of did it.
Yeah,
it was
just right
natural. Whether it's natural or not, it was there for us, and we just went forward and had whatever we had. So something like that perspective was it was cool to talk about that. And I know we also talked about like really listening to your body and what your body's calling for. But it's not like essentially your body, and we didn't give like cues about it, but we kind of dove into like, oh, well, I might be craving a candy bar, but is it really a candy bar, or is there like an internal issue that you're dealing with, or do you maybe need some type of sugar, but it is funny because something like that is kind of contradictory to us being little kids and us eating whatever, but I feel like when you get older, you do have to pay more attention to what your body's asking for you. And obviously the not obviously, but the older we get, hopefully we're learning more and taking precautions to everything around us, so.
Right. It's all a cost benefit analysis. I mean, everything's going to have a pro and con. How much con are you going to put up with for the pros and the immediate? What I took away from Jenna was really the fact that when she said, she would talk about like a cooked food or some type of food, and the guilt that would come along with that. So it's like, oh no, I just messed up all of my progress because of taking in a food, when, to be honest, obviously, whether it's organic sweet potatoes or beans or McDougall style, or even using just processed foods or whatever, it depends. It's such a circumstantial thing. I mean, it could be life-saving in a sense, and it also can be detrimental. It depends on the exact scenario and what's going on. But what I took away from that is like, how many of us are getting so caught up in the ideal and not in the result, right? We're really worried about compromising. It's almost like a religion in a way, or it's just really dicey if you start to attach that to it, because I feel as though the people that are succeeding on the way of eating, they're eating because it feels good. They're not eating because they should or they have to. And we put ourselves in these little boxes. It could just become tricky. And I really like how Jenna highlighted that. Like, if you really feel down about yourself because you were hungry and you ate maybe some food that didn't make you feel as good as you would like to, usually you can pivot that and realize, I didn't feel that good, I'm not going to do that again, because what you're doing is working. But if you're seeing this over and over, this pattern, maybe you should take a step back and look at it with more of an analysis than just, oh, it's addictive and it's bad for me. Sometimes it's other things that are causing you to head down that direction.
Yeah. Even just honestly going off that point, and with my own experience, I went to that local food co-op the other day, and I really wanted to get like, they always make these like tofu kind of like mock tuna sandwiches, and I really want to try one. I've never had it, and I was like, you know what, I kind of want one, So I go there and everything's gone. There's like nothing in these aisles. I'm like, what the heck? Like, there's no mock tuna. There's no like pre-made hummus that they do. Like, what the heck? There's no like none of these dishes. But they had something. It was like a vegan crab cake kind of, and it was like tuna. It was like organic, whatever. It was actually like somewhat healthy ingredients. Not that makes a difference. And I was like, screw it. I'm gonna try it. And they were $1. Usually they're like $4.50 or $5. I was like, damn, like I'll try it for $1. Why not? Right. And it just totally didn't live up to the expectation, And it's not that I I didn't like feel bad eating it, like my body wise. Like I felt fine. I felt good, but it just like didn't taste as good as I thought it was gonna taste. So moving forward, I'm kind of like, I don't even want it. I don't even want that. I'd rather eat something else. So
yeah, like if you would prefer a potato or a sweet potato to that, and it would feel even better, then it's like the best of both worlds. It's good to enjoy your food, not just eat it because it's healthy.
Totally.
And I've eaten so many things where it's like, it made me feel like shit and it didn't taste that good. It's like, the hell is this?
Right.
It's like why black magic.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's why I also think it's important to test foods and see how they feel in your body. And it might take some time to do that. It's not just going to like happen like this. Right. And there can even be other foods that are playing a role in that as well. So like you might eat something early in the day and eat something else later and you feel like shit, but maybe it was what you ate earlier. I don't know. There's a lot of factors, but it definitely is good to like test and see what works best. So, and the episode was called Ideological Shifts with Jenna Hathaway. Yeah. So, well done, AJ. Thank you for pointing that out. Good stuff.
No problem.
Yeah, cool. Anything else with Jenna's episode?
Next.
I love it. So, the next episode 16 was with, when I interviewed Colin. And Colin, he's at PAC.
Colin, I'm really sorry I couldn't be there. That was a really great episode. I just want to take a second. I told MP and Colin, as individuals, but that episode was probably in my top 3 favorite episodes. You guys nailed it. MP, as my co-host, you're just coming along more and more as a great interviewer. And Colin, very interesting guy, good head on his shoulders, totally. Very knowledgeable. I loved it. I learned a lot from it.
Yeah. And that's the thing is that Colin can offer so much, and he has the medical perspective behind it too, because he's worked in the field and he's went to school to become a physician assistant. And now he's definitely taking but he's taking a different path into like more integrative health or integrative medicine, something like that.
Right.
And he actually moved out of Tampa and he got a job down there. So really cool stuff. AJ, not to put you on the spot here, but you listen, what was your favorite part of the episode?
I like how he highlighted hormones. I think that, there's so much missing, I think, in the natural world of healing. And it clearly has its benefits. I mean, eating well, taking care of yourself, sleeping, all these things that we have control over, phenomenal. I think everyone should take that seriously. Yeah. The fact that we are in we're in 2021 and we have all of these tools, not just our phones and et cetera, and information and books, but we also have tests like hormone testing, not because you have to go down the medical route and have them cut your organs out and shift your hormones and all these things. But what I'm saying is knowing where you stand is very important. I mean, if you are failing in your health and the entire time it's because you had a low thyroid or, high cortisol from your adrenal glands. Yeah. Guessing and knowing are 2 completely different things, and having more tools and options to overcome that and work with somebody is a really great thing. And some people are really scared to do that and really face that. I know I've been there myself as well, but Colin highlighting the fact that, hey, our hormones are like a big deal. They're going to be controlling a lot of different things. I mean, your metabolism, your body heat, your sleep, adrenaline, all these things. So when he was going through his shifts with his diet and what he thought was good, and then he got his thyroid tested, I believe, and he just started getting more aware of how his hormones were off and how his thyroid wasn't working and his hair was falling out, his eyebrows were thinning. Yeah. And once he was able to like look at that and be like, okay, clearly what I'm doing is not working. How do I get back to the health that I had? Like no matter how healthy it was or could have been, there's clearly something was wrong. Exactly. And now look at when you interviewed him. I mean, he's super healthy looking. Yeah, he looks great. He's super healthy. So we have this. I think that highlights like we have these great options. Yeah. These great health tools, not just an apple to solve all your problems. And I think that in the raw vegan community, we can take that in and utilize it. And if it doesn't resonate and you don't need it, you don't have to use it. Right. But it's there if you do need it. Yeah, no, I definitely think him talking about that was like, wow, definitely an eye-opener, because you'll hear it a lot. You'll see people post about it like, oh my gosh, my hair was falling out. This was falling out. This is happening. It's just detox. And it's just like, right. Whoa. Like, I mean, like how many days do you have to be sick before you feel well? Right. Like, yes, it could have been detox, but I mean, clearly you're not healthy though, if that's happening. Right. And let's even take Colin's case.
you can say that he wasn't healthy and he made a fix. And now look at him. Now look at what he's doing. And he feels great and everything's flowing better and he's loving life, you know?
And there's a time and a place, I think, to, you know, kind of clean yourself out maybe, or think in terms of that way. But also you do have to think that it can be really stressful on your body to live in a state of deprivation, and it can put you into a fight or flight or, you know, extreme state where your body can't utilize, you know, nutrition to help regulate bodily function. So potassium and sodium and all these things, you want them all regulating well so that the body can address the areas, you know, not the only way to, there's not only one way to do it, and getting healthier over time is better than these big jumps that people tend to do.
100%, dude. 100%. And like, yes, there are going to be bumps and bruises and roadblocks and challenges, and you're going to have to fight through it. But I mean, you don't have to just do a 9,000 day juice fast, you know, and hope to see the issues. It's actually funny because when I was on that path back in 2019, I was like telling my mom, I said, Mom, I want to get sick. Like I'm trying to get sick and it's just not happening. Which is like crazy to think about. Like why am I trying to do that? You know?
Yeah. And also like learning how to eat well and feel well is very important to be able to do that. I mean, if you can't do that and then you juice feast, do you think when you go back to food that you're just going to figure it all out magically now? I mean, we have to learn how to take care of ourselves. And then cool, if you want to, you know, I know people who feel amazing and they do get into like watermelons and grapes for a period of time or whatever, and they feel great. And I don't criticize people that feel amazing. I mean, if you look and feel good, I think that more power to you, but there is a big part of this community that is failing in the way that they feel. I mean, it's clearly obvious. There's so many people going back to meat, so many people going back to cook food, so many like, not that cook food's bad at all. I'm just saying there's this wishy-washiness of this community and a lot of hate going around, which is the most annoying part. Like people are shaming people for feeling bad and sick and stuff. Yeah. It's a bit of a mess. And I think that, you know, approaching this with a little more empathy and knowledge and just kind of like giving some more options for people.
Totally.
A good thing.
Yeah. I think having options, having variety, having backup plans is crucial. You know, it's cool to eat a certain way and be restrictive and disciplined and whatnot. But like, it's okay if you fall out of that. Like you're not gonna be 6 feet under, you know, you're going to be fine. You know, it's just got to keep your head on straight, keep moving forward. And one statement that I want to make there was that it's easy to not eat. It is. Don't eat. Even if you're hungry. No, there's so many distractions out there that we can distract ourselves with to make us not eat. You know, like you can just keep walking, you can keep doing this, you can just keep going out and distracting yourself, you can keep going on the computer, you can keep watching TV, you can keep playing video games, you can keep working out, whatever. There's just so many distractions to keep us to not eating, but it's harder to actually learn how to consistently eat on a day-to-day basis. It really is tough. And it's really tough to really learn and get to know your body. But once you do, it's a beautiful sight. And I'm still working on it myself, you know, but I it's funny because you can say, well, how do you know it's a beautiful sight? And people, I know, because I'm going to get there. And there's some days like
there's times where we're there and we're not.
Right. For sure. There's definitely times that I feel like we are there. And then we kind of loop out of it because we change something or something happens or we're working more or we're going out more, we're staying up later. So, yeah, but it's a bright spot when you can learn and know your body. So,
well said.
Totally. But yeah, awesome interview there. Great stuff, Colin. Can't wait to have it back on. Can't wait to have it back on with AJ. It's going to be great. We're going to have a lot of fun. So
looking forward to it.
Totally. Now let's get on to the next one. We talked with Cycling Spirit owner, I know he's the co-owner. I think he's the original owner of Mighty Fruit, Rain Urata. And we had a blast with Rain. I mean, just like so much fun. I know we might have knocked down some doors. People might have been a little butthurt, but you know, it's funny because like I was watching Saturday Night Live on Monday with my dad. I know, ironically, it was Monday, but we were watching it. My dad put it on, and they're just like shitting on these like different parties. You know, they're shitting on liberals, they're shitting on Republicans, people were getting just whatever, something like they just shit on everybody, so it's like there's stuff like that's out in the world every day, people just shitting on other people. Like I think it's okay to like have a little fun. It is. It's fine. We're just here. We're here. We're serious, but we also want to have a good time too. And I definitely think at some parts during that episode, we did have some fun. We were talking about astrology a little bit. We got into the crux of that.
Yeah, and it's all cool. With love. We weren't out like trying to offend anyone or anything. It's no. We have our perspective, and we feel obligated, and we want to share it. So
totally,
I think it was in good fun.
No, totally, all good fun. But anyways, AJ, I think my biggest takeaway from the episode with Rain was just to ensure that you're eating enough food. And it's actually ironic because I've been listening to Durian Rider recently. I don't know why. He just kind of came up on my YouTube because I go on YouTube a lot.
I haven't checked him out in a while.
What?
I haven't checked him out in a while.
He still posts like every day.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, I'm still impressed. He loves it. He gets after it, and he's consistent, like we said before. But he was just talking about like eating as many carbohydrates as you want. Okay. And he even said, he's like, it doesn't mean that you just keep eating and 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 keep eating, and I know he said it before where he said, eat till you puke. And I feel like he would take back those statements. I feel like he would not say that again. Like, I feel like he would say to eat carbohydrates until you're until you really are, till you're full and satisfied. And if you're not, okay, have a little more, but it doesn't mean like just keep shoving it down. But Rain, the reason why I said that was because I feel like him and Rain has similar perspectives that you got to get enough food into you, even if it is just white rice. Like, dude, he made this smoothie. He just did like 10 bananas. He did so much refined sugar. It is so funny. It's like, oh my gosh, dude, it's just crazy. And like people, because he's done Q&As recently during Rider, and people ask him like, oh, what about micronutrients? What about like minerals and stuff? And he just kind of has like the same answer. Like, if you eat enough, like you're gonna get enough. But
I agree with that.
Yeah,
pretty much.
But yeah, so Rain's, I think the biggest takeaway from the episode with Rain was get enough food, and I know that Rain, he might not necessarily eat vegetables or greens or drink green juice, but I think it's clear and evident that he does eat enough food. And it tells too. I know he just had a race recently, and I think he got second place, so just super impressive. But yeah, I mean, going down the road, who knows? Like, I mean, who knows what's going to happen with like with how they're eating. I know Leo, he was posting about these like vegan sausages and vegan honey buns. He's like eating that. Yeah. And people were like commenting like, what is he doing? Why is he eating? I was like, who cares? Like, let him live his life. He can do whatever he wants, whether he's going to have quote unquote issues later, it doesn't matter. It's his life, who knows? So, yeah, anyways, AJ, I'll stop. I've just been ranting about a bunch of stuff. So,
oh, good. And my big takeaway was, when Rain said pretty much any food is healthier than starving. And I mean, I think that as an adult, it can be like a fine line, and we get a little confused on like how much is enough and how much is too much. But if we take a step back and we look at like someone who's younger, like a developing teen or a child, clearly restricting them has devastating effects. And taking in that info as an adult, it's like, how much food do you actually need before you're just doing damage? He called it damage, doing damage to your body. Even Dan McDonald, to just segue for a second, he says, because he does a lot of fasting and he's a lot into cleansing, but he says like, you still have to nourish. You still have to give yourself nutrients and minerals and food and calories and things like that. And he doesn't view fasting as starving. He does it as like a specific protocol and then to refeed. So like Rain saying that, like, any food is better, whether it's an Impossible Whopper or chicken nuggets or whatever, that's a lot better than not giving your body enough of what it needs. And it's so simple, but it's so profound because, especially with fruits and vegetables, it is really hard to get enough calories. It could be done, and there's people thriving on it. And I'm not trying to take anything away from them, but there's plenty of people who are failing, who are trying really, really hard, and they're putting in so much effort and time and money, and they're just failing. And to take a step back from that and realize, like, okay, I'm freaking out. I'm having panic attacks. I'm not sleeping. I have no sex drive. I'm underweight. Maybe there's a better way to do this. I think that's important. And I think that Rain saying that highlighted all of that to me. Mm-hmm. And also the fact that he said that he's good for No Fap November. He's going to be fapping 3 times a day for the entire November.
That was funny. I mean, you gotta love the facetiousness, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, even myself, I even question how much do I need? Am I eating too much? And and I'm not gonna say that most days that I overeat, because I don't. Every day, like, I know I can keep eating more, and I know I can keep going. But like, I can tell I feel like your body will tell you, like, dude, you've had enough food and stop eating.
Right.
You've had enough. Like, you're full as fuck. Stop. So like you don't need to keep eating. And I mean, I was in that phase where I just wanted to keep eating and eating, but now I'm like totally out of that. Like, I'm good. I'm satisfied. I'm content. I've slowed down, like, more balanced. I'm more regulated. And like, I can really tell sort of my hunger cues, and not even my hunger cues, but just how much I need to eat. So, and exercise does play a huge part in that. And like we discussed in the episode, if you are biking, that is just that's just a whole new world of food. Like, I mean, I could eat an insane amount of food if I bike for 2 hours that day. Like, just insane. Not that I can already, but
right.
It just makes the world a difference. So, definitely keep that in mind. But yeah. So, anything else about that Rain's episode?
I'm ready for the next one.
For sure. Awesome. Well, the last one we just had recently was Mr. Brandon, Mr. Light Samps living. Let's go, baby. Big energy, big vibes, big love. Always getting after it. What'd you say?
Big talker.
Yeah. Big talker. He did.
He wasn't shy.
Yeah, he was not. He was ready. He was loving it. The vibe was there, man. That was. We had a lot of fun. Now, with Light Sam's episode, I mean, there were times when we were just like sitting back, and I was like, just listening to him, like, dude, this dude's like, this is legit. Like, I love this. This is great. Hearing him vibe, hearing him talk was awesome. But yeah, I mean, it was actually insane to hear what he went through, to hear the issues that he was having. And it just really, the whole bright spot of that episode was just take care of your teeth. That's for sure. Take care of your teeth. And that's why there's so many factors to this health. It's like, you want everything functioning properly, not just your bowels, not just cleaning out your small intestine and your large intestine, right. Like, you want everything to be functioning properly, and I would love for all the fraternarians to send me a picture of their teeth just to see just to check in, see how they're looking. And
I think hygiene is the most underrated thing in the health community besides sleep.
Yeah. I mean, I can definitely concur with that. Do you wear deodorant?
I wear an organic one.
Oh, dude, you're such a badass. You wear organic.
I have
deodorant?
Organic hair gel from Morocco Method.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like how I smell sometimes. Yeah, the Morocco Method. Actually, I got to get some of that. No cap. I got to get some of that.
I love it.
But I actually, even myself, I did get like somewhat of like an organic deodorant myself. It smells pretty good. I try to like not use it if I don't have to, but I don't know, like, sometimes you're going on a date and it's like, why not smell better? Like, okay, you smell fine, you don't smell like anything, but you can smell a little better. Why not? Just
right.
I don't want some.
It goes back to it's 2021 thing. We don't have to live like we're cavemen.
Yeah.
we can shave our faces and brush our teeth.
Exactly. But yeah, I know Samps was talking about Weston A. Price during the episode, and I know I haven't like really looked into their work, but I mean I've checked out their website. You know, I know they do a lot of talk about like animal products and raw dairy and fermented cheeses, maybe. But
did you order any or buy any?
I actually got the pasture raised tofu that they offer. It's organically made, and the tofu they eat the hay. No, it's not GMO. They eat the hay. So yeah, but did I order?
You were never vegan.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. I was actually listening to a guy talk today. It's a guy who just like, he's a big research guy. He loves talking about research. I'm not going to give away his name. And he was just talking about how McDougal was shitting on the dairy industry. And that guy said that he went through like all his McDougal's sources, and he said like all his sources were shit besides one. There was like one good source that McDougal offered. And like hearing stuff like that, I'm kind of like, it just kind of like turns me off, you know?
Yeah.
Because
you hear that stuff about Gregor too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, people do that about all people, you know, all this study isn't good enough. You know, there's not this many people. It's not that, whatever. Like,
right.
I get it. You know, I feel like at the end of the day, it comes down to you as the person, you testing out what foods work for you. You know, do you feel good? Are you getting enough sleep? How stressed are you? Your exercise. Like, there's so many factors other than just like reading a study. You know, I mean, I know they're good for a lot of reasons, but still, it's just like, I mean, I love McDougal, so I don't like want to see anyone shit on McDougal. But anyways, the point of me bringing that up was that Weston A. Price, they're going to have their own bias to what they're talking about. Like, they're not going to have the benefits of a plant-based diet on their website, you know, but like you get a medical medium. I mean, there's so much on there about plant-based diet, juice, water, whatever, fruit. So they're like, McDougal's going to have his bias. Weston A. Price is going to have their bias. The raw liver dude's going to have his bias. Like, everyone's going to have their own bias. It's almost kind of like, which side do you want to join? Which side do you believe more? And I think they both, I mean, not that they all have their benefits, but I mean, I think some people might do better than others. I don't know, you know?
Yeah,
so
I agree.
But yeah, what was your biggest takeaway of the Light Samps?
Definitely interview? The biggest takeaway was that he said that he felt really good eating raw and vegan and all this stuff, but he still made the transition into eating that stuff because it ended up serving him. So, you know, you could have someone who basically has built this presence, right, on Instagram, on YouTube, and it's like they're the vegan guy, they're the light, you're the light at the end of the tunnel, and you know, the manifester and all this stuff, and it goes along with your persona. But for him to still take a step back and be like, what is best for me right now? I feel good, but I'm not getting the result I want at the same time. It takes balls.
It takes big balls, my guy. It takes big balls, that's for sure. And I do give him credit for what he's doing and for being vulnerable on our channel and telling us that story. I mean, I give him a lot of credit. Seriously, praise to you, man. Kudos to you, Light Samps. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Yeah, what was I gonna say? Something about, you said it, and it brought something to my attention about him like meeting his need. Oh yeah. His root canal, and forgive me, because I haven't went back and listened to the episode yet, but I'm going to within the next day or two. But I don't think he said that like the fruit or the fasting that was a big reason for the root canal. Correct, AJ? Do you remember that or no?
I think what happened, my understanding was that he had a root canal at some point, and then it started to fester and get infected. Okay, so I don't think he said like something caused it.
Right. Okay.
He didn't get into that.
It just kind of like happened. It was like, it just.
Well, at some point, I don't know if it was when he was vegan or before that, he had a root canal. And
okay. My apologies.
Later, it started festering.
Right. Well, hey, I guess we just got to go back and listen to it again. And when I do go back and listen to it, I'll have a more firm standpoint on that. So my apologies for that. trust me, I paid attention to that episode a lot. I was into that shit, but for some reason that just confused me though. And I think I did ask him. So anyways,
could be wrong. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no. Our apologies there. I guess that means that you'll have to listen to that episode too. I mean, it was a lot of fun. We had a great time. It was good to see his points, what he has to say. So definitely worth listening. Yeah. But honestly, like I loved what he said at the end. Just like, are you happy? That was the biggest point. Are you happy? And that's kind of it. So it's like I know there's the guy, Alan Watts, and I think he died of like a drug overdose or something by chance. Alan Watts, right? He's in like, you'll hear him in like motivational these songs. Speaker. Yeah. He just says all the inspirational quotes and stuff. I think, but like I said, I think he's died of like an overdose or alcohol poisoning. I don't know, something, but I heard that from someone that one of his biggest points was just like live your life, enjoy your life, kind of like we're all going to die or whatever, however, but you might as well have fun with your life. But even still, like, I think you can only take that so far. You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to snort cocaine every day. Like it's the best. I had the best time of my life. No, like obviously you're an idiot if you're doing that. Right. Not that you're an idiot, but like it's not helping. What's that doing for you? Like, okay, you want to do coke once a year? Okay, cool. I'm not saying to do coke and I've never done it, but
Anthony, what are you doing on New Year's Eve?
Yeah, right. Yeah. But I was just using that as an example. Please don't actually
I'm gonna make this a clip for the YouTube.
If you do coke, it's okay to do once a year.
Just right before you watch Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, right. No, you guys get what I'm saying. It's just, I mean, I don't want to say like,
if you do the coke, at least have some strippers.
At least eat some fruit before it and after, and you'll be good.
It just make sure your kidneys are filtering when you.
No. Totally kidding. But like, I think a lot of this stuff, a lot of the drug stuff, it's just, I think it's to the point of how addicting it is for you, for a multitude of reasons. It's like you might be like, oh, I am okay. But like, what if you like, it's all you think about every single day over and over again. You just think about the blunt, you think about the crack, you think about
what if you're,
like how addicted to that are you? And I think that's really where that's really how far you can take it, So if it's like that addicting, you just like, I just throw out the window if you can. I know it takes a lot, but
yeah, I mean, if it's derailing you from your goals and stuff,
right,
for sure. And then also just the fact that like these habits tend to have their come downs. And if you're someone who's neurotic or you're someone who's super focused, like you were saying, hyper conscientious, like there's so many reasons why to not do it that usually the overall message is going to be drug free, alcohol free. The more that you do that, the more likely you're going to have success in life.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, have fun, whatever, but enough people are doing drugs and drinking.
Right.
I think they could use more people like us.
Totally.
And what do you think? What do you think, audience?
Yeah, right. Let's hear your thoughts. I know. You'll see like the inspirational story online of someone who was like, oh, I was an alcoholic for 8 years, and now look at me. I'm in shape. Like I do this. I eat this way. I'm regimented. I'm disciplined. I go to bed early, and it's cool to hear those stories. It's inspiring. So, like you don't want to see the person on the street who's homeless and a drug addict. You don't want to see that, So, and like I honestly, like I kind of am over like the whole in moderation, not like over it, but like I mean I'll say it just to like kind of agree with the person, but
right.
I think you can only take that so far. It just comes down to the level of addiction that you have. So, yeah. But anyway, I don't want to get too deep here. I mean, we're gonna start crying talking about this shit, dude. Holy fuck. But AJ, what was your favorite episode? I'm kidding. Don't answer that. You're not allowed to answer. They were all amazing. We all had so much fun.
Yeah, they were.
No comment. No comment. No comment.
And for here on, it's time for the next one.
Yep. And we're definitely gonna have a few of those people back on. We're gonna have some great talks, some great discussions. So we're super excited, as always. But anyways, AJ, did you have any final thoughts to add here to this 5 interview recap discussion?
Yeah, just in closing, thank everyone that has been on. It's not even that I just necessarily learn a lot, but I just feel as though that it adds value because I take in the energy that you guys are giving off and I take in the information, and it just shifts a little bit a perspective to a better version of myself. And I know the reason why I'm so happy to do a podcast is I get to sit down with people that I respect and talk about things that I enjoy. And it's been a blast. I'm looking forward to the next 5 and 500 fucking episodes. Let's get it.
Totally. I love that, AJ. I love that. And I just want to say once again, thank you, like AJ said, to you 5 that came on, and we're ready to rock and roll for the next 500. But I also want to give a shout out to our audience and for everyone who listens. I mean, like, it's empowering. It's motivating. It just wants me to keep going on here and keep talking with AJ and getting interviews out and getting episodes out. Seriously, we appreciate it. Oh my gosh, so much. And even still, like, I'll get emails of like people like downloads for the week on Buzzsprout. I'm like, damn, like people are still going back to our recent episodes and downloading them. That's like pretty cool to see. I'm like, damn, nice. Like, that's awesome. But no, I think every episode that we have, I mean, dude, I love it. Like when I get back and listen, I'm like, sometimes I'm like dying laughing at our own episodes. Like it really is so fun. It really is so fun. At Woodstock, we should do a movie night where we just like play an episode of our podcast.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I've had a lot of fun. And once again, I mean, I appreciate all the support we've had so far. And AJ and I, we do have some plans coming. We have a lot in mind. We have a lot that we want to do. We'll see if it happens or not. So anyways, everyone, thank you so much. If you got to this point, appreciate it. Stay hungry, stay up. I fucked that up. Stay up, be great. I'll keep it 100, baby.
Amen.
Stay hungry.
Amen and stay hungry.
Amen.